Hey guys, welcome back to the Skywalker Academy and welcome to another Q&A video. But before I get started on the questions, I just want to take a second to thank everyone for 700 subscribers. Wow. We have already hit 700 subscribers and I cannot believe it and I cannot thank you enough. Honestly, I know this sounds like beating a dead horse from every YouTuber known to man, but you guys are what made this channel. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you continuing to love my content, sharing my content, commenting on my content, etc. So thank you all, and without further ado, let's get into the questions. From Odin Skywalker 66, if you were a Jedi or a Sith, who would be your master? As a Jedi, it would probably be Qui-Gon Jinn as my number one choice. I like his philosophy and doing things by your own book, following the will of the Force versus following the creed of the Jedi. That's something that I think it feels right to do, following your own path versus sticking to the doctrine that has guided the order to the place where it's been. And as a Sith, I mean, no matter which way you look at it, the life of a Sith is going to suck. But I would at least like a master who, at the end of my training, treated me as an equal instead of as a pawn in his own schemes or as a potential threat. So I'd probably have to say Plagueis would be my master because he at least kind of treated Sidious like his equal at the end of his training. I mean, obviously, he would still make sure he ruled if that happened. But yeah, it would be Qui-Gon or Plagueis. Although a second choice would be Plo Koon for the Jedi. From Sarah2244. Firstly, shout out to Sarah. She's a great content creator in her own right. Please go check her out. Yeah, her questions. Do you have any theories or ideas where you think the third Cal Kestis game could go? See, I really don't know. I feel like one thing they are definitely leading towards Cal fighting Vader. I mean, he ran away from him in the second game. You fought him as Seer, and Cal technically saw that through his psychometry. So I feel like that's something that they're really leaning towards. And if that's the case, as much as I love our favorite Poncho Boy, he's screwed. I mean, you do not get to fight Darth Vader and live unless you're Obi-Wan or Luke. Really and truly, in the context of the series, that's what's probably going to happen. He might die to Darth Vader, which will suck. But I also think if he died, it could be I could see it being a nice bittersweet thing, like he commits the ultimate sacrifice to save Kata, maybe Marin, Grease, all of them get to live, and he sacrifices himself to save them so the next generation can continue. And her second question, what type of villains do you like to see? Oh, let me try that again. What type of villains would you like to see in future Star Wars content? Example, shows, movies, games, etc. I mean, I love my Sith. I love my bad guys. I want some more straight evil characters, like your Sidious type of evil. The ones who I'm just evil and I love being evil versus the morally complex. Because this isn't just in Star Wars, but in media, we've gotten a lot of, oh, I'm a bad guy, but I'm a good guy type of thing. But no, I want more straight villains. But I'd also like more political villains. Politics is one of the most interesting aspects of Star Wars, especially in the prequels and Clone Wars, and even in Andor. Like the politics going on is some of the most fascinating stuff. And honestly, more political villains who aren't force sensitive, but their word of mouth and their reach and what they can say are their biggest threat versus their physical prowess. Yeah, those would probably be the villains I'd like to see more. Thank you for your questions. From the old school gamer, are there any other franchises you like besides Star Wars? Oh, tons. One of my favorites is Harry Potter. It's like my second favorite big franchise behind Star Wars. I love Marvel and DC. I love the Cobra Kai Karate Kid franchise. The Witcher is one of my all-time favorite franchises. If you guys have not read the books or played the games, please do. They are some of the best ever. But yeah, those are like some of my favorite franchises. I really love the fantasy, that type of genre, the fantasy. Oh yeah, and Lord of the Rings. That's the other franchise I really like. But I love the fantasy, the mysticism, the sci-fi. Well, for sci-fi it really depends, but generally those are what I lean more towards. The fantasy sci-fi type franchises. If Kyrol, Liam, and Daisha lived during the prequels, who do you think would be their instructors? See, that's tough because their respective masters in the series are kind of done by design, but I would have to say for Kyrol, I feel like Plo Koon would be a good master for him. You know, someone to be that father figure type character because Kyrol had his mother figure with, or has his mother figure with Master Kazina, but seeing a dynamic with a father figure could be pretty interesting. Liam, kind of the reverse of Kyrol, I think. Who was it? Oh yeah, Shakti could be great for Liam. Help nurture his darker emotions and be that mother figure for him. For Daisha, that's the tough one. Part of me wants to say Cinderella just because that would be really cool and really fit her. She would be the one under the Battle Master. But yeah, that's Dacia's the hardest one. I feel like Kit Fisto could be pretty fun. Someone to help bounce off her personality a little bit better. And she gets to learn more about Form 1, which is fitting because that's Master Harkin's form. But yeah, I think those would be who would be their masters. But yeah, again, their masters were done by design, so that's kind of tricky. Are you going to do more fan character videos? I really enjoy those. Yeah, firstly, I really enjoy them too. Those are a lot of fun to make to see everyone's different creations. But I'm laser focused on Kyrol right now, trying to get the first book out, which hopefully should be coming soon. But that and some other projects are something I'm really trying to lean towards right now. But I would love to bring the the fan character videos back because, like I said, I really enjoy those as well. What made you want to have Kyrol and Daisha be a couple? See, that's something I actually didn't initially do. I was never going to have Kyrol and Daisha be a couple. That's something that happened as I was writing New Horizon. I realized there was a good spot to tell a different kind of Star Wars story where it's two Jedi who fall in love versus at least in most cases, apart from Revan and Bastila, it's usually the Jedi falls in love with someone else that's not a Jedi. But seeing two young Jedi fall in love, and how does that work? How do they have to deal with that? What situations do they get put into in that situation? How long is it before someone finds out? It's those kind of things. Like, just try to make it as interesting as possible. That's kind of why I wanted to make them a couple, just to be. It's an interesting story that I'm really glad that I chose because it's coming along well. And his last question. I've seen many other small Star Wars channels do what ifs, and I'm curious if you have ever thought about doing them. See, I've thought about doing them, but also I don't know how a way I could do it to make it interesting. That's the biggest thing because there have been so many, and so many people have told the stories in their own way that I find it kind of hard to tell it in my own way that isn't just copying someone else's. Like with Anakin falling to the dark side, there's a million ways you can do that, but I can't think of a way that I would personally like to tell it that would be interesting right now. Obviously, if that happens, I would love to make what ifs. Maybe not as often as like some other creators and not be the main focus of the channel, but I'd love to make them at some point. Try to get my hands dirty a little bit and try a different aspect of Star Wars. Thank you for your questions. From Zack Attack. How's life been treating you? Is everything going good? So far, yeah, everything's going great. School's going good. I'm acing all my classes, which has been pretty much my main focus outside of Chiral and just the channel. But yeah, everything's going good right now. A few years ago, it wasn't the best, but now I'm on the up and up and looking forward to new and better things. Have you ever considered doing a series similar to Chiral but in another universe, like Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, etc.? Yeah, I've thought about that, and I've had an idea for one probably longer than Chiral. Basically, the premise would be four friends. Well, it'd be set in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and it'd focus on four friends. One's a Hufflepuff, one's a Ravenclaw, another one's a Slytherin, and the last one's a Gryffindor. Each one in their own house, and all four of them become friends because they're outcasts in one way or another. Like the Slytherin is from a pure blood family, but she doesn't believe in them. The Ravenclaw is a massive bookworm nerd who doesn't get along with most people and finds solace with those friends. I'm trying to remember, the Gryffindor is like an aspiring potioneer, but he has his own issues dealing with his trauma. Same with the Hufflepuff, but with his, it's a different kind of trauma. But yeah, it'd just be like the four friends becoming friends and seeing how they become friends. I know I just repeated myself. How they venture out into the world of Hogwarts and that dynamic. That's something I've really thought about for a while. Another one I've thought about is a Witcher story. Like, instead of it being like a School of the Wolf it would be a School of the Cat Witcher, because I find the School of the Cat really fascinating. And the cat armor is my favorite in The Witcher 3 anyways. But it'd be set before Geralt, so when the Witchers are in their heyday. But yeah, that'd just be something fun to do. And Lord of the Rings, probably not. I can't really think of a good story for that one. Yeah, I'd love to do more stories set within other universes besides Star Wars. Would you rather be trained by Obi-Wan before Order 66 but during the Clone Wars, or be trained by Luke Skywalker after Return of the Jedi? I would probably, especially if this is Legends, I would definitely like to be trained by Luke post Return of the Jedi, because his order is different. It allows for attachments. He gives into all that, and you're not becoming this dogmatic order. You are people who happen to have the Force, and you get to still be you. Yeah, it would definitely be Luke. And Zack Attack's last question. How did you come up with the name for the channel? It's super random. Pretty straightforward. I just came up with it on the spot. It had a nice ring to it, and I'm really proud of it. Although initially I was kind of wanting it to be more like a school type thing. Like, I think one of the earlier ones was Skywalker Schools or something, but I didn't like that one, so I went with Skywalker Academy as a spur of the moment idea, and I liked it, and it pretty much stayed that. So that's going to do it for this Q&A video, and once again, thank you all for 700 subscribers, and I can't wait to see you all in my next video, whenever that will be. So until next time, may the Force be with you.